Why would a
Yep.
country that hates the Western civilization and hates America in particular, why would their group go and attack Russia, who
Mm.
also hate America?
Why do I feel like I'm about to be offended?
Oh shit. Here we go again.
Everyone knows it's been, Ukraine and Russia have been at odds with each other for, forever. And this last couple of years, it's really come to a bit of a tipping point. And now, obviously, we've had situations where the NATO kind of, conglomerate of countries are pushing that boundaries, really, really touching over where Russia want them to be. World War III potentially looming. This is the year where most elections are going to be happening in I think in the record amount of elections for multiple countries. And obviously, if there's a war, the elections have to kind of take a backseat because everything has to be focused on defending countries first. So there's theories around this, which we must get into as well, because the theories are good to talk about. But what has happened in the last couple of days in Russia that has been very, very newsworthy, Jay?
There was an attack on Moscow.
Yep. It was first reported there's about 40 people that deceased, but I think it's now hundreds of people.
Yeah, it's gone up. Yeah.
Now, I was under the impression this was just a straight up terror attack, but now there's a new theory, some new potential evidence saying that
they caught the three suspects, yeah, and they've interrogated them thoroughly. And Putin didn't come out straight away and say anything. He obviously took his time with this and has, thought long and hard about how he's going to retaliate, what he's going to do, who's involved, instead of just, everyone talks about Putin being a madman, right?
Yeah.
So if he was such a madman and someone has done a terror attack on Moscow, the big city, the main city, he would push the button, wouldn't he?
Theoretically.
Do you know what I mean? That's an attack at his home. You know what I mean? That's, but no, he has thought about this and they caught the perpetrators. They've found out so much information so far, where they were apparently given or bribed 500,000 rubles to carry out this attack. At the beginning, the media was around the world was claiming that it was ISIS. ISIS came out apparently and said it was ISIS. Now, all of this has seemed to have been false. The conspiracy theories go down like a rabbit hole of that Obama was actually quite involved with ISIS and were the ones that left ISIS weapons and stuff when they, did all their little shady stuff or backdoor stuff that was allegedly done. And they had a meeting in the UK with the CIA and is it M6 or the MI6 or whatever the
MI6, yeah.
Yeah. And then 3 days later, this attack happens. So people are trying to link the dots there. Now, these three suspects that have been caught apparently were heading to Ukraine, and one of them was a Ukrainian soldier, or did fight in a bit of the war for Ukraine. They don't apparently typically look like ISIS soldiers, and there's just more details coming out by the second about it all, but you just got to stay in the loop, really. But it's kind of what do you think about it? Like, who do you think? Like, it doesn't sound like. Do you really think Putin would do this to then be like, oh, that's my excuse now, I can retaliate?
Well, I just when have you heard of like a Middle Eastern country attacking Russia?
No.
It doesn't seem on brand. I know it sounds rude, but on brand Why would a
Yep.
country that hates the Western civilization and hates America in particular, why would their group go and attack Russia, who
Mm,
also hate America? That
mm,
doesn't make, to me, that doesn't make sense. It just doesn't meld well because why would you attack one of the biggest superpowers in the world, the
mm.
people who will, you don't know any different, but you would think these are the people who would just push a button, wipe you off the face of the planet. Why would you attack them? I would lean more towards this somehow being a um like an undercut, like an operation to try to really trigger and force Russia's hand.
Mm,
My theory is that they would want to do that because they would want to trigger World War Three.
yeah.
They're trying everything in their power to trigger World War Three. They do not want Trump to get in. They do not want RFK to get in. They want the Dems to stay in because
Any means
they need that
necessary.
power.
Yeah.
This is their power card.
Mm,
So far, Russia have. I would say it sounds weird to commend them, but I think Russia have been incredibly passive. They've been very calm throughout this entire ordeal. It really reeks to me that they know exactly what's going on, and they are trying to just be like, "We know what you're trying to do. We're trying to call your bluff, but we're not going to start World War Three to help you out." I think
that
that's what's kind of happening.
I think they've already stated that those that were involved, because I think a lot of intel has been linked to Ukraine,
Mm.
and he's already said that those that are linked to that from Ukraine are going to be.
I mean, that's what you would expect from these countries. These aren't Western countries. These are the kind of countries where that's probably, I hate to say it, that's probably the way that they deal with this kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Like, you wouldn't march into North Korea and expect to just walk out. You'd be locked up forever or you'd be kaput.
mm,
So it is, it is terrifyingly what it is. But my theory is they're trying to force World War III so that they can stay in power.
yeah.
They know that, Biden's been held together by duct tape and blue tack, and they need him to stay sane. They're pumping him up with some kind of juice to keep him docile or doing whatever he's meant to be doing.
Vaccine.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not actually having vaccine shots. He's just having like some more juice to get him energized. But they're doing everything in their power to try to keep control. I think honestly, I think they're hoping that he dies halfway through office, and then they've got to put Kamala up, and then they'll have another VP.
Oh,
I don't know what the hell.
they'll have a
'Cause
Trump card.
Yeah, a Trump card. Oh. I see what you did there. But that's my theory. I think my theory holds credence. I think that is a solid theory. I mean, the Camilla thing, probably not, because can you name anything she's done? I can't.
No.
She just claps like a seal in the background. That's all she does. That's all she's good for. She's not an entertainer, but that's what they've basically got her for. Sounds a little bit racist there, but that's kind of, she's like basically a token VP. I feel sorry for her for that part.
Well, I mean, like that right there, the fact that you've just said about that leads perfectly into the segue of.
Thank you for watching Glass Culture Podcast. If you liked this video, click here to subscribe. If you want to see the full podcast, click here.